Welcome to Crime with My Coffee. This podcast contains graphic descriptions and adult content. Mature audiences only, please.
Hi, y'all, and welcome to Crime with My Coffee. I'm your fabulous hostess with the mostest, June.
And I'm Suzanne. We're going to tell you some stories you've heard.
Some you haven't.
And some you'll wish you hadn't.
All with a Texas twang.
All right. Well, welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here.
Absolutely. And if you're here for the first time, go back and just choose an episode that you want to hear and just start there and just listen to all of them.
Yeah. I say do it. Binge it. It's worth it. Maybe not, but we're going to pretend it is.
It's absolutely worth it.
I think it is. I like us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
absolutely.
What's in your mug today?
Well, in my mug, I am actually just drinking the breakfast blend coffee with French vanilla creamer because, I had to. But I can say because the weather finally is starting to cool off again, I'm actually going to go to the Boxopods, and I feel, unfortunately, there's a lot of pumpkin spice stuff in there. So,
Yeah,
wish me luck on that.
I'm not one of those people. Have fun.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So what do you have in your mug today?
Probably something that's going to get me grounded because I didn't tell you.
Uh-oh.
I'm drinking what?
No, puppies? No, I don't know.
No, I do not have puppies in my mug. I do have a puppy in my floor, but not my mug.
Okay.
No, I am drinking the Biscoff coffee.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. And
we got it on our trip to San Francisco, and I ground up some beans and I brewed me some of this coffee, and it tastes so good. It tastes very similar to the cookies. It goes really well with the cookies because I do still have some of my cookies left because I have self-control.
I have none, and I ate all of mine when we got back.
Yeah, I have a few little packages left. That's why I got mine individually wrapped. They come in a packet. Each package has 3 in it. Yeah, so I did that way I wouldn't eat them all at once. So I still have cookies to go with my coffee.
Very, very nice.
Anyway, this coffee is delicious. It's creamy. It's got a nutty flavor to it, almost like a cookie flavor to it. It's got a little hint of cinnamon to it, which I wasn't sure about the cinnamon because you can really smell the cinnamon when you're grinding the beans and brewing the coffee. And I was like, ooh, that's really strong cinnamon. I'm not going to be a fan of that. But it's not a strong cinnamon. It's just a barely hint at the end cinnamon, and it is good.
Nice. Yeah. Soon I'm going to make some as well. I'm thinking very soon because I should be getting a couple of days off because we do have Thanksgiving coming up. And so we want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. So, yes, so I'm going to be home, and so we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels if you're traveling.
It's me, I'm traveling.
Yeah, I'm not. Yay! But yes, so I do plan on making a lot of coffee, and I'm gonna try mine. I can't wait.
It is good. You're gonna like it.
Oh, I'm excited.
You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it, and you're gonna be mad because you cannot order it online.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God. Well, we might just have to take another trip then. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can't order it online. You can't.
Wow.
I was surprised.
Wow, I'm surprised too. I really am.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
I was
there you
shocked.
go.
I did all sorts of internet sleuthing and could not find where to order it online. You can't order it online. I was very sad and crushed, as were my in-laws. because I
Oh.
made them try some a few weeks ago the first time I tried it. And
Yum.
my father-in-law was like, "Oh my God, I need this coffee in my life." And I was like, "You can order it online, I'm sure." No, you can't.
Aw.
No, you
Well, that
can't.
makes me sad, but
Yeah.
kind of still makes me happy because I have some, so I still get to try it.
Yeah,
So.
I have very little left.
Mm, nice.
I only have
Nice.
some left because I make half a pot at a time.
Mhm.
So that's the only reason I still have some left.
Nice. Great.
Yeah, but
Can't
it's
wait.
good. You're going to
Can't wait.
enjoy it. Well, I have a case for us today.
All righty.
We are going to go to, drum roll please, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ooh, yes, please. And let's win big while we're there.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be real
So,
nice.
did you know that Las Vegas, when translated from Spanish to English, translates as the Meadows?
Hmm. Okay.
Now, I've never been to Vegas, but isn't it in the middle of a desert?
Yeah, kinda. There's like nothing around, really.
Okay, I was just making sure I wasn't crazy.
Well, maybe they named it the Meadows because maybe some places are really green and lush and things like that because, Hoover Dam is there, not far from
Okay, but it
there.
was named Las Vegas long before any of that came
I
along.
don't well, I don't know then.
So I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't know. Anyway, it
Huh.
is the 25th most populous city in the United States and the most populous city in Nevada, with a population in 2010 of about 584,000.
Wow.
And it is the 6th most visited city in the US.
I can see that. And I guarantee you New York is like probably number 1. I can't remember. I think that we
I
talked
think it
about
might be number
this.
1. I know it follows behind. The only ones I remember were New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and I want to say Orlando. And then there was like
Sounds
1 or 2 more, and I don't remember where they are.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I have been to San Francisco
Me too.
and Las
I
Vegas. I
haven't
know.
been there.
I have once and it had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
It's on the list. I just haven't made it yet.
Okay. All right. Well,
So Nathan Paet and his wife Michelle met while they were in high school. They grew up in Guam. They were totally in love with each other. And shortly after high school, they had their first son.
Aw.
They would end up having a total of 4 kids, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 3 boys and 1 girl. But at this point, they only have 1. They just have the 1 son. And after his son was born, Nathan felt the pull to make sure that his little family was taken care of to the best of his abilities. So he joined the U.S. Air Force.
Nice.
After he graduated boot camp, his family was assigned to a base in Alaska, and off they went to start their grand adventure.
Oh, Alaska's cold.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it gets warm-ish in the summertime.
Yeah. But I think that I heard the mosquitoes are horrible in
Okay, yeah,
Alaska.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
When Nathan's brother was getting married, Nathan was his best man at his wedding.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
the couple had, at the time of this wedding, I want to say they had 3 kids at the time of the wedding, 2 boys and a girl. Anyway, this was a destination wedding in Hawaii.
Oh,
And the
I
couple
wanna
had a
go.
blast. They went from Alaska to
Yes.
Hawaii for
Ugh.
this wedding. Like, I
Oh,
would
man.
love to have
Yes.
had a destination wedding. My destination wedding was at the county courthouse. It's fine.
It's fine. No big
No
deal.
no regrets. I have no regrets about it.
I
I just
no,
wish
no.
I was fancy enough to be able to afford a destination wedding.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is you didn't have a destination wedding, but you can go to destinations now. So it's
Yes.
fine. And you can
Yes.
go to more than one.
And I've
You
been
know?
doing that. This has been a year of travel for me. It's weird.
That's awesome.
Weird. Anyway, back to our case today.
Sorry.
Anyway, so they're in Hawaii. They're having a blast. They're enjoying the weather, the scenery, the fact that they're with their family. It's a great adventure.
Nice.
The following year, I want to say it was about 11 months after this wedding, they had their fourth child, their third son.
Nice. Okay.
About a year after that, in 2008, Staff Sergeant Nathan Paet was given yet another assignment. He and his family were headed to the Air Force Base in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nice. Very, very nice.
Michelle was super excited about this. She wanted to put roots down here. And to top it all off, the cherry on the icing on the cake was only a 5-hour drive from San Diego, where her brother-in-law and sister-in-law lived, along with their new baby.
Oh, yes. That's awesome.
Yes. So they were super excited. Well, Nathan had a secret, though. He had a big old surprise for his wife. He had secretly been squirreling away some money, which he used to put down as a down payment on a 2,400 square foot house in an upscale neighborhood in Nevada.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Oh, my God.
See,
And
you
they
thought it was
need
going to be bad.
They need the square footage with 4 kids.
I know. They're a family of 6. That's crazy.
Cool.
I know. But after they got the house, they were kind of starting to struggle a little financially. Michelle isn't working. She's staying at home with the kids. So they're depending on Nathan's money. He's not making bad money, but he now has all these bills he has to pay. Plus, he's feeding a family of 6. Plus, he's got this big house payment that they didn't have before. So money's a little tight. Michelle started getting a little bit more on edge with the financial strain that was going on, and she was getting a little more upset, a little more agitated. So Nathan got to thinking, what can I do to help my family? And he was like, oh, I have it. So in 2009, just a year later, he put in for a voluntary assignment overseas, and he went to Iraq, which would give him a decent pay bump. And Michelle got a part-time job for a telemarketing company.
Okay. This guy's got a plan about everything. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, yeah, getting it. So he left for his overseas assignment in June of 2009. Christmas 2009, 6 months later, he returns home. He's happy to be back home with his family, and with the extra money he got from his overseas assignment, they had a wonderful Christmas. He was able to give his family all kinds of good stuff for Christmas. And things seem to be getting back on track for the family of 6. Nathan was described as always being the life of the party. He liked having his friends over to the house to sing karaoke. When he was at his brother's wedding, he was the cameraman for, the rehearsal dinner and the reception and all that. And he's just behind the camera, and he's going around everywhere, getting everybody involved. And he's just always gregarious. That's a good word. He was very gregarious and outgoing and just in your face there.
Right. Making sure everybody's having a good time too.
Yes.
Yeah.
At this point, though, Michelle started feeling like she couldn't quite join in on the fun since she has her kids. She has this new job. And she was going to school, though I'm not sure exactly what she was going to school for. Like, she would go to work, and then she would go to school after that, and then she would come home. But I don't know exactly what she was going to school for. But it seemed like her and Nathan were kind of starting to drift apart a little bit, because he's busy working, she's busy working, going to school, etc., etc.
Right. Life happens.
Yes. And they've got 4 kids.
Yes.
And, a couple of them are little. They're little kids. The youngest was born in 2007, 2008, something like that.
Yeah.
We're in 2010, so the youngest is like 3.
Yeah.
So I remember 3-year-old days. Don't want to go back.
Me neither.
Well, in 2010, it's now Thanksgiving time. His brother, Nathan's brother, and his family come up to Nathan and Michelle's house to have Thanksgiving dinner. And, they get there and they said, that Michelle and Nathan were a little different. They seemed a little more strained. Something was off kilter, but they couldn't quite figure out what.
Okay.
Just something in general.
But
Well,
but they knew it was something.
Right. You could feel the tension in the air.
Okay.
Michelle confided to her sister-in-law, when her sister-in-law said, hey, is everything going okay? She said, there's just a lot going on. There's just a lot going on. And that's all she would say. His brother assumed he was having some financial difficulty because there wasn't a whole lot of food in the cabinets or the fridge or anything like that, and he noticed that his brother was more withdrawn, more quiet, standoffish a little, seemed a little more tense.
Mm-hmm.
And when he asked his brother about it, the only thing Nathan would tell him was, it's complicated, bro. It's complicated. Mm-hmm. But he wouldn't elaborate.
Okay.
So 3 days later, the brother's family packs up to load up and go back to San Diego. And they said that the goodbye this time was a little more weird. Nathan was a little closer to them when they were getting in their car, and he walked them much further out, and he was just on top of their car and in the way of them getting in their car and leaving. And
almost like A, I don't want you to go, or B, take me with you.
Or almost like he had something he wanted to tell them. He just didn't know how to tell them.
Yeah.
Or he hadn't quite worked up the nerve to just blurt it out yet.
Right.
And he was trying to get there, but he just never could. So the family leaves. They finally, they say their goodbyes and they leave. And the brother said, hey, maybe we should go back. And his wife said, no, whatever it is that he wanted to tell us, if he wanted to tell us, he'd have told us before we left. He's had 3 days, 4 days, you know, and he hasn't said anything. He's not ready to tell you yet. It's fine. So they went on home. Well, now we're up to December 1st, 2010, just a few days after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
At 11:30 p.m., Michelle calls 911 to say that Nathan had been shot and was bleeding in her floor.
Oh, no.
Of course, cops get there super fast, and they find her holding Nathan, who had been shot in the neck. He's not able to speak. They rush him to the hospital, because the ambulance is hot on the cops' heels. They rush him to the hospital, but unfortunately, there was nothing the doctors could do, and Nathan did pass away.
Oh, no. This poor family.
He was 28 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, they talked to the wife there at the scene immediately, to try and get a timeline of events so that they can get, know where to start to look for the killer.
Right. What happened? What happened?
And she said, that he had gone outside to get ready for work, and then she heard a lot of gunshots, and he stumbled into the house from the garage, and he was covered in blood, and she freaked out and called the cops, and here we are.
I mean, sounds plausible to me.
Yeah, so the cops end up taking her down to the station a little bit later for a formal statement, to get a formal statement from her. And what she told the cops was, the day that her husband had been killed was a little bit different from their normal routine.
Mm-hmm.
She said that usually after work, she would go straight to school, and she would stay there at school until about 10:40 or she would get home from school at about 10:40, which was only 5 minutes before Nathan had to leave out the door to go to work.
Okay.
That was normal, but the day that he was killed, she wasn't feeling real well, so she came home from school early, and she got home at about 5:30, and they kind of snuggled up on the couch and fell asleep and started taking a nap or whatever on the couch, and Nathan's alarm either didn't go off or he didn't turn it on, or she's not real sure what happened, but they woke up late.
Mm-hmm.
They woke up at about 11, And Nathan's like, oh my gosh, I'm totally late for work. And he starts rushing around the house and he rushes upstairs to take a shower real quick. And then he rushes downstairs to go out the garage and put his boots on and get his jacket and get in his truck and leave and go to work.
Okay.
And she said when he went out into the garage, that's when she heard the shots. The cops were like, well, why didn't you go out there to check on him? And she was like, well, I heard the shots. The kids heard the shots. We were all scared. And he stumbled in right after. And, so that's why. And the cops were like,
I'm sorry. If I hear gunshots, I'm not running towards them either.
well, I'm not either, but a cop is trained to do that. So that's probably what they think somebody's first reaction should be, because that should be a cop's first reaction.
Right. But I'm not a cop. That's not what I'm going to do.
Well, this neighborhood was not one that you would expect a murder to occur in. Like, it was a nice, upscale, hardly any crime ever here neighborhood.
Right. But occasionally things do spill over into nice neighborhoods as well.
Yeah, so the cops are thinking, well, maybe this was a loan shark coming after him because they've been having financial trouble. Maybe he had a gambling problem, and maybe that's why they have financial difficulties. Or maybe he had a girlfriend on the side.
Oh.
But they found zero evidence of any of that.
Okay.
They found that Nathan was nothing but a good guy, a family guy, doing his best to take care of his family. So they're out talking to the people in the neighborhood, trying to see, hey, did you hear anything? Did you see anything, when this serviceman was killed? And they come across one neighbor that said, yeah, I was out walking my dog last night and I heard the shots and I look over in the direction where the shots came from and I noticed it was at the Paet house and I saw a guy in a black hoodie running from the Paet house to this car. It was like a 4-door car, maybe a Cadillac, and it was black.
Oh my goodness.
And the cops are like, really? And he's like, yeah, when this guy jumped in this car, the car just like sped off really fast. And they're like, all right. So they bring Michelle down to the station again and they're talking to her and they said, hey, we got this lead on this car because there's thousands of black Cadillacs in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So they ask her, do you know of anybody that drives a black Cadillac? And Michelle goes, no, wait. Yeah, I do. This guy, Michael Rodriguez, that I know, he drives a black Cadillac. And they're like, well, who's Michael Rodriguez?
Yeah.
And she goes, he's this guy I work with. He's a coworker of mine. We're kind of friends, like work friends.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, do you think he'd have any reason to hurt your husband? And she's like, no. You just asked if I knew anybody that drove a black Cadillac, know. And they're like, oh, okay. So they go and they do their fancy little cop Google. And it turns out that Michael Rodriguez had a record.
Oh.
Wasn't for anything major. He'd been convicted of attempted forgery, nothing violent or anything. And so they're like, okay. But we're going to talk to him anyway because he does have a black Cadillac.
Right.
So he comes in to be questioned by the police, to be interviewed by them. He's all cool, calm and collected, everything's fine. He even calls his fiance to say that he's going to be late because the cops want to talk to him and they're searching his car. And he starts talking to the cops and, the cops ask him about Michelle and he's like, oh yeah, we're work friends. That's all, I know her from work. And they're like, well, is there been anything not right between you and Michelle?
Hanky-panky.
Yeah, and he's like, well, okay, we're kind of flirty work friends, but it's not ever gone anything further than, just offhanded flirting at work.
Okay.
And the cops are like, so no, nothing, no funny business. And he's like, no, absolutely not. We've joked about it, but it's been a joke, like she's my work wife type thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And they're like, okay, well, where were you the night of the murder? And he had this fantastical meeting with this ex-porn star that he ran into at a Walmart at like 9:00 that night. And he was like, hey, baby, let's go to this motel over here. And she's like, okay. And he said that they got to the hotel at like 11:00 or midnight, somewhere in between there. He's not real sure where. He wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to the time. And they get into the room and it's like insta banging. Oh, and by the way, I have video evidence if you want to see that. And the cops are like, no, bro, we're good.
I wonder if his fiance has seen this and
Probably
knows the story.
not.
Oh my God.
So they go to check his alibi.
Rodriguez. Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Rodriguez. So they go to check out his alibi and confirm it. You know, they find this lady, and first they go to the hotel to pull the security video footage. And they do see him and this lady walking in close to midnight or so to check in, and they go in and they check in and they go to the room, and they're in the room for hours and hours, and then they leave. And so they go and they find his date from that night, and she says, you know, yeah, I was with him all night. Like, it's true. That's totally what happened. And the cops are like, okay, but
not sure I like that, but
6 days after Nathan was killed, his alibi, Michael's alibi, calls the cops and says, hey, I need to come talk to you guys. And they said, okay. So she comes in and she says, look, I've seen the news about this Nathan Paet guy. He was killed in his driveway the night that, you know, I was with Mr. Rodriguez over here. And I wasn't completely honest with you when I told you I was with him all night. See, what had happened was... My friend Jordana over here, she called me and she said, you know, hey, my boyfriend Corey Hawkins and his friend Michael Rodriguez, they're gonna go rob this drug dealer, and both of these guys are gonna need an alibi. Will you come be Rodriguez's alibi? And the porn star lady said, sure, why not? Like, I don't have anything going this night. You know, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
And she said, you know, so she goes to Jordana's apartment. By the way, Jordana is not her real name.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured that, but
yeah,
I mean, okay.
Fine. So she goes to Jordana's apartment and she's hanging out with Jordana, waiting on the guys to show back up. And the guys come in, she said, at about 11:30. They rip off their clothes. They throw them to Jordana, who throws them in the fireplace and burns their clothes. And then her and Rodriguez rush out, and they rush out to the hotel where they check in and just, you know, hang out for a while.
Okay.
And they were like, really? Okay, so his alibi's fallen apart. He doesn't have a violent history. His only connection to Nathan is the fact that he's Michelle's co-worker. Like, this is weird. You know,
off, yes.
What? This is not making sense. On December 7th of 2010, the base had Nathan's memorial service there. And, you know, all of Nathan's family is there, and they realize, you know, hey, Michelle's not here, but that's not, you know, she's probably super traumatized and super grieving, and she just can't handle being here. It's a week after her husband was killed and basically died in her arms.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of get that, but still.
So now the memorial service that the base has is not like a funeral memorial service.
Okay.
So it's just mainly for his immediate family and his more for like his platoon, his squadron, or whatever they're called in the Air Force, his work buddies.
Okay.
For them to be there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like I said, Michelle wasn't there, and the family didn't think it too odd. They're like, you know, she's probably super grieving, too distraught to be here, because it was really hard for them to be there, but they went anyway.
Right.
What they didn't know was Michelle was actually down at the police station being questioned again.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
The cops told her that they had looked into Rodriguez's phone and they had found some questionable text messages, and they wanted to ask her about them. Rodriguez had evidently texted Michelle at 11:12 the night of the murder. He said, hope you are feeling better. Just about done with Van Dyke's contract for tomorrow. He's a pain in the ass. And then 2 minutes later, he sent another text that said, if you don't feel up to it, let me know, and you can take a few days to rest up. I appreciate your help. And then they found that Michelle replied at 11:19 that says, my husband just woke me up and he's trying to rush out the door. I guess he's late. LOL. Sorry, that contract is a pain. And the cops were pretty sure that they were talking about this murder in coded texts.
But, I mean, to me, it just sounds like they're talking work because she worked at night anyway and took off early. And so, I mean, I get it.
Well, and they also found and showed Michelle that they saw where she had texted Rodriguez again 2 hours after her husband's death, a smiley face emoji.
Oh, no, that does not look good on her.
So they ask her again, was it really just a work friendship? And she said, okay, here's the thing. Not really.
Girl.
She admitted that they were involved in a sexual relationship of sorts. They would meet in her car during their lunch breaks at work. And she said that Nathan had recently begun to suspect that she was having an affair, though, you know, he wasn't really for sure. Her and Rodriguez had been talking about how to kill Nathan.
Wow.
Because Michelle didn't want to just leave him and divorce him, because if he was killed while she was still married to him and they were together, she would get 2 life insurance policies that Nathan had. A $400,000 life insurance policy provided by the military and an additional $250,000 policy that they had separately from the military policy.
Wow.
So $650,000 altogether. And she wanted that money.
Greedy, greedy, greedy.
Yeah. So she said, you know, but here's the thing. When it came to the night of the murder, I was having second thoughts. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go through with it. So I turned Nathan's alarm off so that his alarm wouldn't wake him up. I didn't unlock his truck doors like Rodriguez had told me to. I was doing everything I could to thwart this, you know, to sabotage these murder plans. Right. You know, I made sure that he was running late so that maybe Hawkins and Rodriguez would be bored sitting out there waiting for him and they would leave before he ever left for work, and none of this would happen.
Right.
The cops weren't really buying that, though. They end up arresting Michelle Paet, Michael Rodriguez, Corey Hawkins, and his girlfriend Jordana, all in connection of the murder of Nathan. Because what had really happened was Michael and Corey were waiting outside for him to leave for work, and then they were going to kidnap him, drive him out into the middle of the desert, kill him, and leave him there. But when they went to the garage to get him and kidnap him, Nathan was like, I don't know you, bro. Get out of here. Like, are you kidding me? Back off. And that's when they shot him.
Oh, my goodness.
Rodriguez ended up being found guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder and was sentenced to life without parole. Nathan's family asked the prosecutors to take the death penalty off the table for Michelle because they said it's not going to do anything. I'd rather she sit in prison and live with the fact that she killed our brother, she killed our son, she killed her children's father. And they're going to know that. And we want her to live with that.
Yeah.
So she agreed to plead guilty to first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. She also got life without parole. Corey Hawkins, turns out he was a 9-time convicted felon. And he ended up pleading to murder and burglary charges in order to avoid the death penalty. He swore Rodriguez was the trigger man, although Rodriguez swore Hawkins was. But the porn star alibi lady said, well, Rodriguez told me that he shot him. So they're
Okay,
pretty
but-
sure Rodriguez did the actual shooting.
Right, but guilty by association on this dude. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you pulled the trigger or not, you were involved.
But Hawkins ended up getting life without parole. His girlfriend, Jordana, she ended up striking a plea deal with the prosecution, and she pled guilty to conspiracy to commit murder. But I couldn't find anything about a sentence anywhere for her.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I chose not to use her real name, because if I looked
Right.
in the offender registry for Nevada, she's not listed in there either, even if she were out on parole or probation or whatever, the sentence would be, she would have been listed there.
Right.
And I couldn't find her listed there at all. So I chose not to use her real name because there's probably a reason I can't find anything about a sentence for her. So
True.
But
Very
yeah,
true.
that's my case. That's the murder of Nathan Paet. His wife turned into a greedy psycho bitch. And I want to say I read somewhere that his children are being raised by his parents in Guam.
Wow. So now his children actually end up getting the insurance money and she gets nothing.
Yeah.
Serves her right. Oh, no, that's right. She gets to sit in jail forever.
Yes. Forever.
Wow. That's crazy. People, don't be greedy. Don't
try to kill people.
No.
That's not cool, bro. I don't care what they say. If they say the cool kids are doing it, they're lying to you.
Oh, yeah. They lied. Because you're not cool if you're doing that. Wow.
Not at all.
That's absolutely crazy. Yeah. It's just walk away. Just get divorced and walk away.
Yeah. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Don't go killing people.
No.
Or don't go trying to convince somebody else to kill some people.
No. That's crazy. And, don't get involved with your coworkers either. I always heard, my dad always told me that you do not shit where you eat. And it's true. Yeah. No. Ew.
But yeah, that's my case. That's what I got for you this week. We hope that you guys have a super happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Yes.
We did want to say one more thing, and we'll probably say this at the beginning of next week's episode, because if some people are like me, they might not listen to the end of every single episode.
Right.
So just in case they skip this part, we'll announce it again next week. But if you would like to join our Patreon by December 5th, we will be doing little Christmas goodies for our Patreon members over there this year.
Yes, we will.
So if you join at any level, you will have goodies coming at you. Just make sure that we have, when you sign up, you have your your current address so that you can receive your goodies that we have for you.
Yes.
So we got until December 5th to get that done.
Nice. Very, very nice. And I'm excited about that. So excited.
And each different tier of the Patreon membership gets different goodies.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, hop on over there if you want to get in on the Christmas gifts this year. If not, that's totally fine. We get it.
Yep.
No hard feelings. It's cool.
No.
But yeah. That's what we got for you this week. We'll be back again next week with another new episode. Hope you're here again to listen to us babble on and on about probably some terrible, horrible case. And
I'm sure it will be. Until then, bye.
Okay, bye.